All right, guys. Hey, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate you guys coming up, especially on a Monday, but to help us kick off this season. So, with that being said, we're really excited to get out there and play. We've been banging on each other long enough. What a better way to start than to go out and play an SEC team and to go out and play an SEC team. A team that's won 9 games. I think it's the last 2 seasons. So a team we have a lot of respect for. Great players, well coached, and it's been a challenge for us. We're watching Stanford film. We're watching all these different teams. You forget who you're getting ready to play against, but I think our guys are ready. We're relatively healthy, and we're going to go out there and take our best swing. So with that being said, I'll just see if anybody has any questions.
You opened Notre Dame last year and felt really get bigger than that. How much is that, the way they went out there and saw that, now you're going to a big-time site, how does that play into it?
Well, I think number one, after going to Notre Dame last year, I felt like for the rest of the year, no moment was too big for our guys in terms of walking into a stadium, walking into a crowd. You walk out of that locker room at Notre Dame and they're walking in, the band's playing. I mean, that's a powerful, powerful scene. And I thought it was good for our kids to experience that. I think, we have, a lot of us haven't been down south. We have to deal with the heat, which we haven't really dealt with up here, so far this camp. So there's a lot of things we have to deal with. But, I think they've had some experiences to draw back on. They can go back to that Notre Dame game and feel what it feels like to go into that type of a stadium. Some of our kids have been to Penn State. So I think that was a great thing for us last year, and it'll be a great thing for us this year. I'm sure some of our freshmen will be scared, but, we're in a different place now. We're trying to challenge our guys to face their fears. It's okay to be afraid to go play a game. I mean, it's okay to be nervous, but you have to face those fears. So what better way to start than versus an SEC team?
How difficult is it to prepare for the first game, new coach, the whole thing?
It's awful. It really is. It's awful when it's a new coach. I mean, we're watching Stanford film, because obviously Coach Mason was the defensive coordinator at Stanford and his staff came from Stanford. We're watching NFL film. We're watching old UCLA film because Coach Durrell, the offensive coordinator, is coming from those places. We're watching Stanford's offense. And we're practicing. There's probably 9, 10, 11 tight ends on the field getting ready to see what Stanford does. So, we're preparing for all of it. So I think the biggest issue we've learned is, thank you very much, the biggest issue is, we're going to focus on what we do, focus on us. If we learned one thing last year, it's, we played some really good teams, but it was really what we did that determined whether we won or lost. So we're just trying to stick to our rules, who we are, and see what they do come game time. I think their strength, they're really strong on the offensive and defensive lines. I mean, they have 4 returning offensive line starters, and on their defensive line, I mean, they're big. They're all 310. They play a 3-4. They're all 305, 310 pounds. So this will be a real challenge for our offensive and defensive lines. As we came out of last season, we tried to go back and build our D-line for our conference, which is lighter, faster, more athletic to deal with the pass rush, and now we go play one of these power teams. So those lighter, faster guys, now they have to go play against bigger people. So that'll be one of the real storylines in this game, is whether our O-line and D-line can hang in there versus these big people.
Specifically, you learned at Notre Dame. I mean, you guys hung in there. There's a couple big plays that screwed you up.
Yeah, we came out of practice the other day, and there was a ruckus going on in one of the rooms, and kind of walked in, and one of our real leaders on our team, Matt Ioannidis, he was kind of getting after his teammates, and it was one of those deals where they were saying, well, I didn't hear the call, and he said, listen, and he said it in a loud way, but he said, listen, we went to Notre Dame last year. First play of the game, we're supposed to drop down this way. They drop down that way. I'll just talk loud, they'll hear me. They're supposed to drop down this way. We drop down that way. The ball goes for 65 yards. It was nerves. It was fear. It was not doing what you're supposed to do. So I think once our guys settled down in that game, they realized, like, pound for pound, man, we could hang out in there with Nix and Tuitt and all those great players. It was really just a matter of, are we going to fold in the moment, or are we going to go attack the moment? And so some of those guys, after being through that and learning through that, it helped them at the end of the year, and it helps them this year, saying, we're not going to go out there and just rotate the wrong way and let Vandy run for 80 yards. They're going to have to earn everything they get against us, hopefully.
Coach, last year you did statistically excellent season, 2 wins. How do you translate that into this year better than
Well, I think the biggest thing we're just challenging him to do right now is understand that one play can't win the game, but one play can lose the game. I mean, we're not, and I think he saw some progress in that Memphis game. He got outside the pocket. He threw another pick that just wasn't what we wanted, and then finally got out and threw the ball away. And then 2 plays later, we scored a touchdown. So just trying to get him to understand the game, throw the ball away when it's not there, Don't sit there and hold the ball forever. Just check it down. As our field goal situation hopefully is improved and some other things, there were some things last year that led to third and 10 felt like you had to get it. You couldn't just check it down and kick the field goal. So I think him understanding situational football will lead to more wins. Him understanding, don't do something silly. You're gonna make mistakes, but don't just try to win the game. Just take what they give you and let your teammates play. So, and he's made real progress in that regard.
Obviously, both are quarterbacks on Thursday are sophomores. Do you expect anything in the game to happen to show that against those balls you don't check down and try to make a play? Will it go both ways, you think?
I have no idea what their quarterback will do. I mean, he's a winner, I can tell, right? I mean, he's got 4 wins under his belt, so I think there's a reason, that they would go with him. I mean, he's from what I've read, he's a great student. He's a smart kid, and I mean, he's gone out and he's beaten Florida, as a starting quarterback. So I would anticipate him playing really, really, really well. But for me, my focus is purely on PJ and Connor. I want them to play the way we're capable of playing. I mean, that doesn't mean there's not going to be mistakes. I mean, we're going to be really aggressive. I didn't come here to not be aggressive. So we're going to throw the ball when it's time to throw it. We're not going to. We're going to try to go score. We're going to try to go win the game. And so they're going to throw picks sometimes. Laugh it off. Come back to the sideline.
Coach, a bit of a new look secondary this year. I was just curious what your expectations were for your defensive backs.
Say that one more time.
I said a bit of a new look secondary this year. I was just curious what your expectations were for some of your defensive backs.
I expect them to play well. I mean, we have a lot of guys that I think can go in the game and play. We're going to have to rotate guys. It's going to be hot. So everyone that we put out there, I expect them to go compete. I mean, I thought we played well at times, and then in the pivotal moments, we didn't go compete for the ball. So I'm expecting them to go compete for the ball.
Roby missed most of camp, and did he just turn the corner enough where you got him back on the depth chart as starting left corner? Has he kind of been practicing more and helped him more?
Yeah, he's been going for like the last 2 weeks, and so last week and a half. And, we got him as healthy as we could, and then said, okay, now it's time to go play. And expect him to go play.
2 and 10, but with so many close games, how do you convince them that the line is that thin, but now we got to get over that line to make a difference?
I think they were convinced as they went through it. I think they saw like, hey, we can hang in, and as everyone told them why they were losing, I think week after week, it was almost a good thing. It was like, okay, this is really what it is. In the crucial moments, do what you're trained to do. And so we've done a lot of things. We've tried to get bigger and stronger. You put a bunch of sophomores out there, and they're not big and strong. They're going to wear down in the fourth quarter. I mean, like you need 22, 21-year-old grown men out there in the fourth quarter. We try to get them more confident. We've pushed the heck out of them this offseason. It's been a lot of guys, along the way said, I don't know if this is for me, but the guys who stuck around, they've worked their tails off so that I think they're invested, and we've just tried to teach them the situation. So we showed them UCF's year last year. UCF, who we're really proud of, they went out and beat Baylor and represented our conference, but I think they had like 6 or 7 wins by less than a touchdown. So again, it wasn't like, hey guys, we're getting blown up by 60. We're losing by less than 10. They're winning by less than a touchdown. So let's just make up 8 points and see where we're at.
Now, what does a guy like Mason, having gone through with your first year last year, what do you think goes with his mind as he gears up for his first game?
I'm sure it just like probably like all of us, man. He wants to see what his team looks like. We have kids out there to run around that are freshmen that I'm excited to see play, but I really don't know. I don't know who our starting corners are until the game starts, because I don't know who's going to go play with the lights on. You know what I mean? I know we're going to put out there first, but I don't really know who our corners are going to be until the game starts and you see who goes and competes and who doesn't. And for him, as a new head coach, it's probably that for the whole team, But obviously, Coach Mason, he's been around a long time. He's one of the top coaches in the country, so I'm sure he has a plan. I just know for me, it was oh geez, well, I don't know what we have here. Let's see what we have, and then at least now I know. Okay, here's what we have. Sean's a real competitor. I mean, the fact that his teammates voted him as one of the top 9 toughest, the fact that a senior would write a freshman's name down on their sheet, I think that's an unbelievable statement to who he is. I don't know how he'll play this year as a freshman. I haven't seen it yet live, but I know he's going to be one outstanding football player. He's a guy who knocks the ball away. He's a guy who picks the ball off. He's a guy that, when he makes a mistake, responds. The biggest thing about him is he works his tail off and he listens. I mean, he does everything we ask. We tell him, hey, carry a water jug around, he carries a water jug around. Some guys carry it half the day, he carries it the whole day. So he's really talented and really competitive.
Coach, what kind of impact are you looking for from Khalif Urban this year on your offense on a big play?
We think Khalif has got to impact us on special teams and offense. He's a dynamic playmaker. He's got to be a great return man for us. And we're going to try to find ways to put the ball in his hand. He's got to stretch the field for us, and we're counting on him. We're counting on him along with a lot of those other guys. But he's a guy that's a little different than most. I mean, he also can return, so we need him to really give us something we didn't have last year in our return game.
Now, do you feel more confident now in your kicking game where if it's a situation where you're going to go for it or kick it, you're going to be more prone to go for it? Do you feel more, is it still unsettled or do you feel a little more confident?
I won't feel. Let me say this. I feel confident in them. I won't know what it's like until we get out there and play. But I'm going to play like the way we want to play, and we're going to go out there and kick it. And if we don't make it, we're going to go out there and kick it again. I mean, what else is there to do, really? You know what I mean? Like when you miss a kick, there's nothing else you can do. I mean, I'm just going to play. We're going to go play like we want to play, and if it's close, kind of liked it last year. Sometimes saying, "Hey, let's go for it on fourth down." We scored a lot of touchdowns doing it that way. It's 3rd and 6, and we run the ball because we know we have 2 downs, or we throw a short pass and we get the first down, we score a touchdown. So we'll play it just like we know we're going to make it. And if we miss it, we're going to keep going. We're not going to back down.
Will be Tyler going out there or will
I don't know yet. I still don't know. I haven't even watched the tape from practice yet today because today was sort of the last competition day. So, we'll get out there on Thursday and see what it is.
What about the progress your offensive line has made this game?
I feel good with the first group. Deion Dawkins has come on really strong. Kyle's been really strong. It's just really that the next guy's in. Right now we feel really good about Leon Johnson going in the game, Jacob Quinn going in the game. We have about 7, and we're trying to bring Samaje Reed, Adrian Sullivan along. They sat last year. They have 4 years to continue to develop. And Aaron Ruff, he's a true freshman. We're treating him like he's going to play and trying to get him. So if we stay healthy, I feel good about the group. If not, then we need some guys to step up. So we're just trying to bring that depth along quickly.
Boye Rome is probably one of the highest rated recruits as he was coming out of high school, the senior program. He kind of popped in sort of the depth chart and so forth this preseason. What's happened in his development?
In terms of just him playing?
Yeah, maybe considering how highly rated a recruit he was coming out of high school, going to Virginia Tech and so forth.
I think I'm going to make sure I understand your question. I'm sorry. Why isn't he higher up in the depth?
He was a highly rated recruit.
Right.
He transferred, but he kind of didn't show up anywhere until this preseason.
Yeah, he was on the team. He was on the team last year. He had to sit out last year as a transfer. So he was. That's why last year, you're sitting there going through some tough times, and you're looking at your scout team, and you're seeing, some of these kids you're sitting on. You're seeing Khalif Urban. You're seeing Ramon Deloach. You're seeing, Oboye, and you're saying, all right, let's just hang in there, and these guys are going to give us something. So, Adebayo is really he's really physical, and he's a really good athlete. He loves football. He flies around, and he's a guy that got a lot of votes from his teammates to be one of the toughest guys. He's just one of those throwback guys that we've had around here that can get down in the box, can play back in space. So, I don't know what happened to him at Virginia Tech and why he left and all that. I've never even really got into that with him very much. I just know that he's done everything we've asked, and I think he's going to be a heck of a player.
If he had played last year,
I'm sorry?
if he was eligible, would he have been?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to, I never say things like that because I would never want to disrespect the kids that played for us. Sometimes, if I want to do one thing while I'm up here, I want to make sure that the kids that played for us never feel like I'm throwing them under the bus. So, I don't know. I don't know if he'd have played or not, to be honest with you. But I know right now, I'm happy as heck he's out there playing because I think he's going to give us an element, that we would like to have, if that's a better way of saying it.
When you played last year on the scout team, what you see in training camp, what are you excited that you're sitting on that maybe people haven't seen that you're going to show face this year?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Khalif. I've been pleased with our defensive end play, the pass rushers. I've been excited about them. I think that, again, I don't know how much it translates to this week, but in the following weeks, all those spread teams, I think Praise and Finch and Jacob Martin as a true freshman, Avery Ellis, Hassan Reddick, I think those guys are going to be 5 of the fastest defensive ends in the league, so I'm excited about them. It'll be the first 2 weeks, obviously, they're not going to be great weeks for them to show off what they can do. They're going to be, lining up to 4 tight ends this week, and the next week they'll be defending the triple. But as we get into our conference, I think those guys I'm excited for them to go out there and pass rush and get after quarterbacks, which we didn't do a great job of last year.
How much do you need for Nate D. Smith to elevate his play? Again, obviously this year you won't be trying him in defensive end like you did last year. He seemed like he's pretty set right there with the linebacker spot.
Yeah, Nate did a good job last year of just kind of, saying, okay, I'm gonna prepare the way you guys want me to prepare and do what you want me to do. And he's been a pleasure to coach since that Army game. I mean, he's a fun guy to be around every day, and he has some of the better instincts and skills of any linebacker. He's got better instincts than a lot of guys, that we've had here. So I think with him and Tyler, we expect them to be big-time players for us. And Nate, he's just got to kind of stay healthy, stay on track, which he's done. I mean, he had a little bit of a back, so he didn't, finish some of the spring. He wasn't there for part of camp early on, but he's been healthy now, and I expect him to, especially with Dvorak being out for the year, I expect, we need Nate to play at a high level.
What more can you ask of Tyler at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think Tyler, I keep challenging him to keep taking it to another level, and he definitely does. I mean, he's become a coach on the field now. He when he's not in, he's out there, making the twos play at his level. He's yelling at the offense, I mean, he's become a captain type of a guy. So, we need Tyler to be really physical. Like, this will be a great challenge for Tyler. This is a team that's going to line up and run power football at you, and he's going to have to show that he can be physical, not just savvy.
What's Zaires' status heading into the year? I know you said last week he was banged up. I know you guys want to see more out of him in camp, but how is he?
Yeah, Zaire's banged up. He's out there practicing now. I don't know how much he'll play or not play. I mean, we'll travel him and see where he is. But right now, that's Kenny Harper's our starting tailback, and either Gilmore or Jahad Thomas will probably go in next.
We've learned 3 freshmen long snappers. I imagine you would prefer and hope that someone would, give it John Christopher one less thing to do.
Right.
But he's there at the top of the ship.
And JC went down today in practice, so I don't know if he'll play Thursday night or not. So we had kind of a freak thing. So, Corey Lurch of those 3 guys is probably the furthest along. Out of LaSalle, he's done a really nice job, and hopefully JC will be able to go. And the thing about JC, he just gives you such tremendous coverage. Those guys really can snap it well, but JC will snap it and run down there when the guy's catching the ball. He's like a gunner, so you're actually stealing a guy. So, but I think Lurch will do it for the field goals, which is what we need. We don't want another body. We lost all those guys last year, so that did it for us in the past couple of years. So Lurch will probably do the field goals, and then it looks like maybe he'll do punts, or JC will do punts on Thursday, depending on the extent of him, his injury and how banged up he is.
What was
Something with his foot or ankle or something. I don't know. I'm not sure yet what it is. They were looking at him, Mike came up. I'm sorry. Ramond, he's out there. He's playing wide out for us. He's in the 2 deep. At times, he's one of those guys we're going to mix in. We played him at tight end some. We played him, at wide out some. I think, with our focus on trying to run the ball, we feel good about the strength of our tight ends in terms of being physical. So moved Ramond back outside. He's got great hands, great, body position, and he'll play a lot of football for us.
Are there other receivers that you have shipped in, but any other guys that might make a trip that might, especially now, need to step up if John can't play, whether it's Eaton or any of those guys, or maybe Clash?
Yeah, Eaton will travel. He might play some. Ventel Bryant, true freshman, he might play some. Hairston, Sam Benjamin, they could play. We're going to bring all. I just don't know how the game will go, but those guys are there, ready to go. Broderick Gansey. So we'll travel a lot of receivers because they're playing on special teams for us, and we'll probably take 8, 9, 10. Zach Banbury played for us last year on special teams. He won't play wide out, but so we'll take a lot of those kids, and especially the first game. I have no idea what the heat will be like, and we'll have them ready to go.